So I thought I'd be a little bit more specific about the 12-step program. And I need to sort of default and start by saying the 12-step program saved my life, and I certainly needed saving. And I had everything at my fingertips, but I had so much internal anxiety and so much internal, I would say, unhappiness, and I was so unsettled, and I really needed this form, this 12-step form, this kind of apparatus to design my life around, because I was so unable to design my life. I couldn't even get through day by day really successfully in any case. But I just wanted to share how magical those rooms are. And there's so much truth and power, and we've all experienced it. And of course, just like every other place on the planet and every other group of people on the planet, it's, they ruin it. But I did want to differentiate a little bit because I got sober so long ago. I actually started going to meetings like in 78. I mean, ridiculous. I started going to meetings when I was like 11, not even a joke. Long story, I'll tell it someday. So again, I want to differentiate, because back then the program was different. I mean, in, the early 80s and in through the mid, it was different. And of course, prior to that in the 70s, it seemed like the program was sort of like, listen, we are here to get back to the average man. There was sort of a belief we can be an average, everyday Joe in America, or Joelle or Jodine, person. In America, we can do that. And that's what this program is designed to do. We're not really supposed to be set apart and in this separate thing and have all these separate issues. Those issues can be dealt with the 12-step program and the steps and sponsorship and that apparatus, and that takes us to normal. Phone rang. So I want to differentiate between what it was like in the program then and what it's like in the program now. I feel it's very different now, and I saw the progression of this kind of psychology and issues and answers and labeling things, and people sort of almost becoming professionals. And I had many sponsors that I had a sponsor say to me, I need to be able to diagnose you. And I'm just saying that as an example, because that wasn't how it was in the beginning. We were here in the program to get to the average man. Some are lower average, some are high average. We're here for self-acceptance, to become a good citizen among citizens, not set apart or different or better than. And just do our best to be the average person. But it seems so different now, and that's why I moved away from it. Years ago, and I have to tell you, I had no support for that, because in the program, it is a thing. You move away from the program, and you are on your way to a slip or to a relapse, and it's really unfortunate. It's sort of unfortunate, and I really think that I should go to a few meetings just to kind of catch up on all of this, because it's been about, probably a year since I've been to a meeting. And meetings are glorious. They truly are. And I've been through many of these phases throughout my 38 years of attending meetings, probably more. Honestly, many different phases, and this is one of them. But I will say this, I didn't have anybody to turn to. As I started having some of these realizations and seeing some of these things that are important for those who require freedom. If you require freedom of thought and freedom of movement, metaphysically, organically, whether it's in groups or whether it's within your soul, in yourself, that not to be stuck to any form, like, this is the 12 steps and we do it this way. And this is how we do our 12-step, and this is how we do our 4th step, and we have these workbooks, and get your, oh man, I'll never forget this, get your binder out, and you have to have certain pens and certain erasers and certain books and certain binders, and and it's just human nature. It's human nature to create something, create some kind of a form, create some kind of a, this is the recipe. You add some of this, and then you put your number 2 pencils in with your binder, and you sit in that class, and you are still an alcoholic, still a sick alcoholic, but you're better than the standard sick alcoholic because you're doing the work. And I've been there. And I'm not saying not to do the work. I'm certainly not saying, but I guess I'm just talking about more of a spiritual attitude, more of an atmosphere of it takes all kinds, as opposed to if you're not doing it this specific way in the program, then you're not working the program. I think it takes all kinds, and different people work the program in different ways. And I do think it is like a cafeteria. Take what you want and leave the rest. And that is not a popular phrase, especially in the California area. The whole, I don't even know how the Pacific group is doing in LA. I'm so out of touch with all of that. But I know it was really strong, and I know how much good comes of things like that. There really is so much healing and strength and power that has stemmed from that. I know that. But man, there's another side to it. And people who need freedom of expression, thought, movement, it's so suppressive they can't stay there. I always say, I don't know how I'd get sober in the program the way it is now. It is not the way it used to be. And I think that's the step one. That was the real step one, is the atmosphere of this place. I mean, it's so, it's similar to just certain ways of thought, that this is the party line, this is how you are to think, and anything outside of that equals non-recovery or relapse or whatever. It's just not true. Freedom of thought is always good. Expression and expansion, I believe, is always good. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because I remember looking online and I'm fucking freaking out about this 12-step thing. I mean, I've been in it for so many years, and it's starting to get to me, and all of these things, and I had no support. I had nobody to listen to, nobody to run this by, and now I'm just putting it out there. Like, anybody who hears me, listen to me. What you're going through is natural. Not everybody is supposed to be in the 12-step program forever, but certainly not to close your heart to anything, and try not to be so harshly judgmental. I have to try, because I think, I believe, people hurt people, and people use the program in the different formats. This is our format. This is our formula. If you don't do the formula in thought and in deed, you are not in recovery. That's just not true. I'm here. Hey, I have the right to say that. It's like in the program, isn't it? The more sobriety you have, the better you are, or whatever. It's such bullshit, man. It's fucking crazy ass people that have been sober a long time, like me. I'm kind of nutty. Okay, I'll admit it. Anyway, so that's that. I wanted to clarify that. God bless you.